Let us pray. Almighty God, Father, you have designed your universe to celebrate your creative power and energy and your excellence. Tonight, as we celebrate in this place achievement and attainment and excellence, we extol and we exalt you. Also, cause us to remember in this celebration that every good and every perfect gift cometh from you. We entrust ourselves to you this evening, to your watch care, in the name of him who was and is to come. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Holden. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to recognize the following persons who have joined us this evening: former Riverview High School principals, Mr. Al DeWitt; Vice Principal, Mr. Jack Ailes; retired elementary principal, Mr. Mac Freeborn; local MLA, Mrs. Pat Crossman; community RCMP liaison officer for Riverview High School, Mr. Mark Gallagher; Riverview principals in attendance tonight, Mr. Cy Edmonds, Mrs. Debbie Allison, Mrs. Clem Rocca, and Mr. Ward White. At this time, it is my pleasure to call upon Mrs. Heather Jones, Director of Education for School District 2, to bring greetings on behalf of the school district. Mrs. Jones.
Will that carry?
Okay.
Special guests, staff, ladies and gentlemen, friends, and the graduating class of the year 2000. What a terrific evening. It's a pleasure for me to be here with 286 Riverview High graduates. I also spent some time last night at your prom, or Tuesday evening, pardon me, and what an elegant celebration that was, and everyone was having such fun. Certainly a night to remember. Graduation is an important event in your life. Graduation means the beginning of things to come, and you've gathered so many memories to take along with you as you move ahead. As you begin this next journey in your life, you'll get all kinds of advice from those around you, and even I have a few things for you to consider. Like yourself. Really like yourself. Be proud of your accomplishments. The real art of success is to learn from your mistakes. So continue to move forward and celebrate your successes. I ask you to celebrate out loud. Chances are you'll never be as rich as Bill Gates or as poor as Mother Teresa, so learn to save for a rainy day. Save your clothes. Fashion has a way of coming back. So much of what I see today reminds me of the way I dressed when I was 20 years old. The trick is to be the same size when those clothes come back. Look for an opportunity in life and keep a positive attitude. There's a huge difference between growing older and growing up. If you're 19 years old and lie in bed for one full year and don't do one productive thing, you'll turn 20. Anybody can grow older. That doesn't take talent or ability. The idea is to grow up by always finding opportunity. So I ask you to find opportunity in life and keep a positive attitude. I ask you to trust in yourself because you're going places. So in the famous words of Dr. Seuss, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who'll decide when to go. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kids, you'll move mountains. On behalf of School District 2, congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Jones. It is my pleasure to call upon Mayor Bruce Fitch, who will bring greetings on behalf of the town of Riverview. Mr. Fitch.
Thank you, Doug. Good evening. MLA Pat, councillors, Siemens, Hislop, teachers, parents, relatives, friends, and Riverview Grad class of the year 2000. It is certainly my pleasure and distinct honor to bring you greetings and best wishes on behalf of the town, your town, Riverview. I would also ask permission of those gathered here, the indulgence, to acknowledge some of my family members who are graduating here tonight. My niece Catherine Fitch and my nephew Jeremy Peck. Since becoming mayor, Riverview High graduation has become one of the highlights for me, especially since Catherine and Jeremy bring to the total 7 nieces and nephews that I've seen graduate from this platform. So I certainly do share some of the feelings that you are feeling here tonight. Possibly not as deeply because I have not had to pay for some of the things leading up for graduation. But most of you graduating here tonight were born about 18 years ago, and so much has changed in those 18 years. We have seen certain institutions that we thought would never vanish, such as Burke's, Eaton's, and Seagram's will soon be added to that list. We have seen words change their meanings, such as the word browser. It used to mean someone who came into a store, looked around, but did not buy. Server used to be someone who was in a restaurant to bring you your hamburger and fries. And the net was an item that your uncle used to catch fish for a living. Grads, expect change. It is almost the only thing that is constant in life. But you can excel in a changing life through trial and error, your intuition, and by following the signposts that others have left and have gone before you. You will get through the maze of life and you will get your prize. But let us also remember some of the things that remain constant, such as the importance of developing characteristics, such as honesty, integrity, commitment to friends, family, and yourself, just to name a few. So my wish for you tonight is that as you dream today of what you will become in the future, may you always look back on this night, on this graduation, and be proud of what you have become. Good luck, have a safe and happy graduation.
Thank you, Mr. Fitch. At this time, it's my pleasure to call upon our local MLA, Mrs. Pat Crossman, to bring greetings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mayor Fitch, special guests, staff, parents, friends, and of course graduates of the year 2000. I'm looking down in the audience and I think Al DeWitt and I like to share the record. I'm trying to think. I think this is my 25th consecutive graduation, and I hope, Al, you've been here 25 years too. I hope I'm not the oldest one in the room. Anyway, I just don't ever mind coming to a high school graduation, to sit and look at the young faces and to think that, yes, our town and our province and our country are in good hands. It just restores a little bit of faith in society when I do that. So this is a very special night for me, but it's also your special night. If there was one thing I'd like to leave with you, it would be everyone has something to offer, no matter how small or how large, and everything is equally important. So we need every one of you, and none of you are ever, or none of us, are ever too old or too young to take a risk, because if we don't take a risk, we'll never go anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Crossman. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. The guest speaker tonight comes from our community. In both his personal and professional life, he represents all that is good and honest in Riverview. 25 years ago, Preston Smith, Dr. Smith, walked across this stage, possibly in one of these same gowns, to receive an honors diploma. Since that time, he has distinguished himself as a lifelong learner and as a solid contributor to our society. After leaving Riverview High School, he attended UMB on a scholarship for engineering. Partway through 1976, he realized his calling was not in building bridges, but in mending bodies. Therefore, in 1977, he transferred to Dalhousie University, where for the next 6 years, Preston studied and received award after award. The Dr. Graham Prize, the Mosby Award, the Langs Company Award, just to name a few. These awards culminated in Preston's receiving the prestigious Dr. J.W. Merritt Award for the highest standing in surgery and the Dr. C.B. Stewart Gold Medal for the highest overall standing in the 4-year program in medicine. Since 1982, Preston has continued to take courses, attend professional conferences, and devote his time to making himself a better physician. One would think that all these professional demands would take attention away from his family and community. Not so. I've had the pleasure of knowing and working with Dr. Preston Smith over the past few years and can attest to this fact. His love of his family, his sense of duty to the community has been unwavering. He has also been involved in 5 marathons, and I am sure that he is glad he's not running one of those marathons tonight in this heat. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you our guest speaker who represents someone who has taken the challenge and stands before us this evening, a fine example of what our community has nurtured, a fine doctor, a caring husband, a father, and a good citizen. Dr. Smith?
Thank you, Doug, for those kind words. Good evening, graduates, RHS staff, parents and family, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin to say how honored and how humbled I am to be here today. Riverview and Riverview High School have given me tremendous gifts over the years. Thank you for this chance to give a little back. 25 years ago this week, my wife and Jane and I graduated from this high school. It seems like only yesterday. In fact, some of your teachers taught us back then, believe it or not. Some of those same teachers are patients of mine now. Now there's an example how things can really get turned around. Riverview High was a wonderful experience for me. I came here from the island as a shy, quiet guy. This school welcomed me in an amazing way. I was lucky enough to serve on the student government, and Mr. Fogarty was our student advisor. It was deja vu for me when I served on the SPAC 4 years ago, and he was the teacher representative. I met my wife Jane here at Riverview High, and in fact, during the Winter Carnival in grade 12, we were named Lovers of the Year. I thought it was kind of weird at the time, but only since I've had teenage girls do I realize what a chill that probably gave our parents. Riverview High gave me wonderful friends who are still friends today. We have our 25th reunion this summer. I know that it'll be a wonderful gathering of old friends, fond memories, and lots of laughs. Finally, Riverview High gave us great education. I'm truly honored to be here because I truly love Riverview High School. Nowadays, sometimes I have an opportunity to interview medical students who are applying to our program in family medicine. They always amaze me with their talent and their skill. Well, you people are the same. I am in awe of your skills and your abilities. I've seen you in drama, music, athletics. We're recognizing your academic achievements tonight. It seems to me the bar has been raised since I left high school. On a personal note, Jane and I have got to know a lot of you with our daughter Marie over the last 12 years. We've come to know you as a kind, caring, and supportive group of people, and thus it is truly an honor to speak to you tonight. Now, unfortunately, guest speakers always feel obliged to give some advice, so I'd ask you to bear with me. The first 2 things I want to say come from being a family doctor. The last one is a bit of advice I wish I had listened to. My first wish for you is that you take care of yourself physically. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is lecture you on bad habits. That's my day job. But I do want to talk to you about physical activity. When I talk about taking care of yourself physically, I don't mean the size of your biceps, and I don't mean your dress size, and I don't mean your body shape. None of those things are really important. But I believe passionately in the importance of physical activity. I love to tell you all to become runners, but I haven't yet convinced any one of my 3 daughters to take a step with me, so I won't go there. The 2 best reasons for being physically active are not about living longer or losing weight. In fact, they're totally selfish. The first is that it makes you feel good. When I come home from a really bad day, if I go for a run, I feel better. If I sit on the couch, I feel the same. The second reason, Bill Gates and many others unfortunately keep reminding us it's a really competitive, tough world out there. Being physically fit will give you a real competitive edge. My second wish is that you take care of yourself emotionally. We live in a crazy, fast world. People have phones, cell phones, beepers, 5 email addresses, an answering machine, and we drive through for everything. I know business people in my practice who have 400 names in their personal directory, and yet they're lonely. We have this supposedly connected society, and yet we don't know our next-door neighbors. It's this absence of the human moment of real connection that many people in psychology feel is the cause of the great increase of depression and anxiety we've seen in the 90s. So take time to make those connections every day with your friends and your family. It's these relationships that sustain us emotionally. So I hope for you that you always remember to maintain these wonderful friendships that you've built in your years in high school. They can last you a lifetime. Always remember to build new ones. Take the time to have human moments of real connection. Like physical activity, the emotionally fit person has a real advantage. So my first 2 wishes for you are that you care for yourself physically and emotionally. Finally, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the importance of goals. Do you know where you're going? With goals, I believe you will write the story of the rest of your life. Without them, others or circumstances will write your story. Take the time to look at your strengths, your personality, what you enjoy, and then take the time to dream. And I mean really dream. Don't limit yourself. Remember, all of you can do the really difficult things. The impossible ones will only take a little longer. When you've had your dreams, it's time to set your goals, and if there's any message I have for you tonight, it's set those goals high. When I look back at my own past, I never dreamed of being a doctor in high school because I thought I'd never get in. I limited myself, and I had to recover. I wish I had followed this advice. I never wished I had set a lower goal. More than once, I've wished I'd set a higher goal. When it comes to goals, I'd like to share with you 2 philosophies that come from my recently found passion for running. The first, in a marathon, the first and most important victory is actually getting to the starting line. The courage to set the goal, the hard work to prepare, that's 99% of the accomplishment. Those are my wishes for you. Take care of yourself physically, take care of yourself emotionally, and dare to dream big. On behalf of Jane, my daughters Marie, Heather, and Sarah, I'd like to sincerely congratulate you and thank you again for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. At this time, I would ask the grad class executive, Steve Pickerel, President, Kate Andrews, Vice President, and Amy Galley, Secretary Treasurer, to come and thank our guest speaker.
On behalf of the entire grad class, I'd like to thank the guest speaker for being here this evening. It's been a tough year, it's been a long year, but it's excellent to have someone here to speak with us, and we'd like to give you a gift. At this point in time, I'd like to ask Mr. Fogarty and Mrs. Sunderland to join myself, Kate, Amy, and Mr. Prescott up on stage so we can give them each a token of our appreciation for all the hard work they've put in. They were our grad class advisors this year, and without them, we would have had a really tough time this year. They really helped us out, and they deserve our thanks.
As Kate and Steve and Amy are going back, on behalf of Mrs. Sunderland, Mr. Fogarty, and myself, I want to thank the 3 grad class executives members for their efforts this year. They worked very hard on behalf of all of their peers behind us this evening, did a wonderful job in providing direction, ideas, a lot of creativity, and I think for those of you who were able to join with us for the Grand March at the school the other night, a chance to see the decorations for the prom, all the hard work by students and staff members, I think you were treated to a real enjoyment. So thank you, Steve, Amy, and Kate. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank Preston for sharing his words of wisdom, for sharing for his heart, and for having been such a caring person, for all his efforts on behalf of staff and students over the past few years. Certainly while I've been at Riverview High School, it's been a pleasure to work with both him and with his family. At this time, it's now my pleasure to call upon the grad class. They will be providing us with their choral selection, a song from the Traveling Wilburys, End of the Line. Music will be provided by Aaron Hamilton on the keyboard, Phil Rabin on the acoustic, Kevin DeBarno on the bass guitar, Jeremy Peck on the lead guitar, Ryan McAllister on the drums, Lucas Fowler on the tambourine, Christopher Kelly and Jarrett Lewis on the maracas. If you would now take your spots, folks, and they will be accompanied under the direction of Mrs. Leanne Delaney. Thank you, graduates. Aaron, Phil, Kevin, Jeremy, Ryan, Lucas, Christopher, Jared, and Mrs. Delaney. That was wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to call upon Crystal Stevenson to deliver the valedictory address. Crystal.
Honored guests, parents, teachers, and most importantly, fellow members of the class of 2000, good evening. We are gathered here tonight on a momentous occasion. Tonight is the culmination of 12 years of hard work, but is also the time to share memories and to set further goals. We leave behind us our childhood, but look forward to new beginnings as we prepare to enter the world. Tonight, we celebrate the past, but we must also look ahead to tomorrow's challenges. The future is ours, and what we can do to shape it is limited only by our imaginations. We will be the leaders of the new millennium. I would like to share tonight the words of Muriel Strobe, who said it so clearly. I will not follow where the path may lead, but I will go where there is no path, and I will leave a trail. As we leave here to create our own trail, may each of us decide what paths we will choose, those which will be forced upon us if we choose to do nothing, or those which we are at liberty to create for ourselves. I hope that all of us here tonight will create the path that will lead us to our dreams so that we may have the opportunity to fulfill them. It has been a dream for all of us here on stage this evening, but it has been a dream that none of us have achieved alone. Parents and teachers, thank you, for you have encouraged us along the way as we learn to gain wisdom from our mistakes, as we change from one educational phase to the next, and as we went through all those wonderful stages of our lives. We especially thank you for loving us through that wonderful stage called puberty. For all the love and interest you have shown in our lives, for all the work you have done to help us accomplish our goals, and for all the times you have let us win the little battles, we thank you. While parents and teachers have helped us over the past, there have also been those who have stood by us and helped us in other ways, our friends. We have helped each other in many, many ways, and while searching for the perfect words about friendship, I came across one anecdote that seemed to say it best. It went something like this. In kindergarten, our idea of a good friend was the person who, when we were stuck with the ugly black crayon, gave us the red crayon. In 4th grade, our idea of a good friend was the person willing to change square dancing partners with us so we would not need to be stuck with a teacher. In 6th grade, it was the person who confronted that special boy or girl and asked them to dance with us so we would not need to be embarrassed if they said no. In 11th grade, our idea of a good friend was the person who gave us a ride in that new car. During our final year of high school, the story went on to say that a good friend was the person who helped us deal with our parents who were having a hard time adjusting to the idea of letting us go. This last thought falls short. This year, our friends were those that stuck behind us and supported our decision to apply to schools halfway across the province or the country, even though they knew that would mean we would not see them as much as we would like. A friend was someone who did not criticize us for being ourselves, who stood by us and did not let us throw away our dreams. A friend was someone we could call any time of night just to say hello. Someone we could scrap with one day and still want to see the next. Someone who, when nobody else could, always made us smile. Those we call friends may change over time, but the friends we have had up until tonight will always be a part of us. We are proud of each other, however, we should also be proud of ourselves. It was Edward Gibbon who said, "Every man who rises above the common level has received 2 educations, the first from his teachers, the second, more personal and important, from himself." Tonight, we are here because of what we have achieved. Tomorrow, we will begin to utilize what we have learned. We each have had the strength and determination needed to rise above that common level, and we have conquered. It does not end here. We are still learning and still conquering. Our knowledge, along with our evolving integrity, will help us to develop into tomorrow's leaders and conquer the problems facing our generation. Samuel Johnson wrote, "Integrity without knowledge is weak and useless. Knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful." As we graduate today, we possess both the knowledge and integrity needed to be tomorrow's leaders. One or the other alone is not sufficient. As we become ourselves, let us be those leaders and use that knowledge and act with integrity. These thoughts I leave with you. May a good future be yours. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to call upon Aaron Miller to come and thank our valedictorian. Aaron? Here, left. There you go.
Crystal, on behalf of all of our graduates and your fellow peers and all of your best friends, I'd like to thank you for expressing in words what we can only feel. I promised myself I wasn't going to cry, and I'm not going to now. But we wish you all the best, and thank you so much.
Just prior to the distribution of diplomas and awards, it is my pleasure to present the Governor General's Bronze Medal for the highest academic standing in the graduation class. This year, it is presented to Alistair Grant with an average of 96.6. Alistair, if you come forward. Congratulations, Alistair. And now the moment that our graduates have all been waiting for, and that is the presentation of diplomas and awards. It is my pleasure to invite to the platform and to assist me in this most pleasant task, Mrs. Matthews, Mr. Forsythe, and Mr. Sunderland, Vice Principals, along with Mr. Burrell, Guidance Counselor for Year 11 and 12. Mr. Ken Carroll, Mr. Gary Nickerson, 2 Year 12 homeroom teachers, will read the names of our graduates acknowledging First Division, honors, academic excellence, French immersion, and the awarding of prizes and bursaries. I would ask the presenters to be ready to come immediately to the platform. Please be ready in advance. You can line up immediately to my right. Mr. Burrow will help facilitate this process this evening. Note, audience, if you would please hold your applause until the entire row has received their diploma so that all graduates will receive an appropriate show of support.
Deanna Allen. Jason Kyle Darrell Allen, First Division, in absentia. Luke Justin Amos Binks, academic excellence, recipient of the Greater Moncton Real Estate Board bursary of $500 awarded to a deserving graduate, presented by Ann Siemens. Amber Andreasen. Kate Elizabeth Andrews, honors, French Immersion Certificate. Brian Arsenault, First Division. Christopher Bailey, honors, recipient of the Atlantic Wholesaler Scholarship of $1,000 awarded to a deserving student, presented by Scott Brosman. Okay. Kevin Bailey, First Division, recipient of a Victory Life Center Church of Riverview bursary of $250 to a deserving graduate, presented by Lori Brown. Brock James Baird, honors, recipient of the Brad Dingley Memorial Award of $200 to a graduate who has participated in Riverview minor hockey, presented by Louis Dallaire. Lindsay J. Bannister, academic excellence, recipient of a $100 bursary donated from the Riverview High School staff casual day fund, presented by Joan Atkins. Andrew Barkhouse, Jennifer L. Bartlett, honors, Jordan Wheaton Bateman, honors, Rebecca Cheryl Beardsworth, honors, Jeremy Joseph Boileau, Candace Amber Beers, academic excellence, recipient of the Dr. Deborah Bowser $500 bursary awarded to a female graduate going to a post-secondary studies, presented by Wanda Jesuit. Benjamin Best, in absentia. Lynn Marie Betts, academic excellence, recipient of a Cooperators Alan R. Francis and Associates Limited Award of $175 to a student tied for the second highest standing in the graduating class, presented by Alan Francis. And also, recipient of a $250 scholarship donated by the Lady Society, Immaculate Heart of Mary Parish, presented by Christine Harper. Ryan Bienvenu. Selena Black, First Division. John Andrew Guy Blakeney. Catherine Beth Boileau, First Division, French Immersion Certificate. Marc Pierre Bourbonnais, French Immersion Certificate. Melissa Marie Bourbonnais, French Immersion Certificate. Patrick Bradley. Sean Andrew Bradley. Tanya Brown.
Thank you.
Angela Budd. Carrie Bernice Budd.
Bobby Joe Burbine, honors. Phil Burgess, in absentia. Adam John William Burke, honors. Charles William Burrell. Chris David King, First Division. Joseph Gregory Cairns, First Division. Mitchell Cameron, First Division. Jennifer Lynn Carey, Academic Excellence, recipient of the Hazel Ely Scholarship of $140 awarded to a deserving graduate who is continuing studies in medicine or a related field, presented by Brian Forsyth. Recipient of the Coverdale Masonic Lodge Scholarship of $350 to a deserving graduate, presented by Michael Perry. Amanda Joan Carr. Robin Steele Carruthers, First Division. Isaac David Carter. Tricia Lynn Carter. Jennifer Lee Chappell, First Division. Erin Elizabeth Clark, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Bridgedale Lower Coverdale Women's Institute bursary of $200 to a graduate who intends to further her education, presented by Kathy McPherson. Also, the recipient of the Albert Liberal Association bursary of $100 to a deserving graduate, presented by Victor Robichaud. Jennifer Clark, First Division. Jolene Nicole Cogswell. Eric Calvin Corkum, honors, recipient of the Armor Transport bursary of $100 awarded to a graduate going into the transportation industry, presented by Brian Forsyth. Jeffrey Andrew Cormier, First Division, French Immersion Certificate. Christine Jennifer Cormier, First Division, recipient of a Frank L. Bowser Home and School Association bursary of $200 to a student who attended Frank L. Bowser, presented by Janet Durling. Jason Scott Cornell, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of a Gunningsville Home and School Association bursary of $150 to a student who attended Gunningsville School, presented by Heather Fougere. Oh, Debbie Ellison, I guess. Peter Crandall. Juanita Lynn Cullen. Andrew Alexander Curry, Honors, recipient of the Dr. John Clarence Webster bursary of $200 to a deserving graduate, presented by Carol McAteer. Katie Whitehead Cushing, Academic Excellence, recipient of the University Women's Club of Moncton, the Irma Fash Hicks Scholarship of $1,500, awarded to a deserving female graduate entering university, presented by Clem Rocca. Recipient of the Riverview Lions Club Award of $500 to a deserving student, presented by Joe Rouet. Recipient of the Harold F. Rook Memorial Scholarship of $100 to the graduate who attains the highest mark in English grade 12, presented by Nancy Matthews. The recipient of the George Bateman Merit Award of $1,500 donated by the APSI to a deserving student, presented by Angela McLeod. Kevin Michael DeBarno, First Division, recipient of the Audrey Coleman bursary of $300 donated by St. Paul's United Church and awarded to a graduate who is entering the university music program, presented by Donna LeBlanc. Cindy Louise Therese Daly, First Division, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Jeanette Reed Memorial Scholarship of $300 to one of her former students going on to post-secondary students, presented by Ward White. Christy Lynn Dallaire, Honors. Michael J.P. Davidson, First Division. Trevor Harold Daw, Honors. Timothy John DeGrace.
Commissioner Nixon.
Katrina Frances Denny. Honors, recipient of a Riverview High School band bursary of $100, presented by Leanne Delaney. Aaron Anthony Dennis. Jennifer Diane DeWolf, First Division, recipient of the Albert County Hunters Association Scholarship of $300 to a graduate entering environmental science or conservation, presented by Tim Beattie. Kirk Timothy Dexter.
Dexterity!
Bonnie Delag, French Immersion Certificate. Kristen Aaron Donovan. Sean Patrick Dorsey, honors. Recipient of a Riverview High School Basketball Booster Club bursary of $150, presented by Paul Dorsey. Megan Leah Douthwaite. Jordan Paul Duga, First Division. Michael Dunfield. Sylvia Catherine Duran, honors. Emily Catherine Derling, honors. Recipient of a Riverview High School Drama Club bursary of $100 to a graduate who made a contribution to drama, presented by Ruth Arsenault. Jane Earhart, honors, French Immersion Certificate. Morgan Ellsworth, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the F. Leonard Christopher Memorial Bursary of $425, donated by the French Immersion Class of 1984, presented by Liz McLaughlin. Elizabeth Jean Barr Falconer, honors. Recipient of the Riverview Craft Guild Bursary of $250 to a student who intends to further his or her education in arts, crafts, or architecture, presented by Leona Dares. Angela Jean Feltmate. Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Diane Crandall Memorial Scholarship of $300, donated by the Dr. John Clarence Webster Chapter, presented by Carol McAteer. Jillian Lee Ferguson, honors. Catherine Marie Fitch, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Governor General's Canadian History Medal for the Millennium is presented to the student who achieves the highest final mark in Canadian history, presented by Douglas Prescott. Also, recipient of a Cooperators Alan R. Francis and Associates Limited Award of $175 to a student tied for the second highest standing in the graduating class, presented by Alan Francis. Also, recipient of the Moncton Symphony Foundation Scholarship of $300, awarded to a graduate pursuing a musical career, presented by Alexia Trail. And also, recipient of the E.W. Freeborn Memorial Music Bursary of $200, awarded to a graduate continuing studies in music, presented by Malcolm Freeborn. Krista Ann Fitzpatrick, honors. Jessica Ann Forbes, honors. Recipient of a Riverview High School Basketball Booster Club bursary of $150, presented by Paul Dorsey. And recipient of a Riverview Minor Basketball bursary of $200 to a graduate who has participated in the Riverview Minor Basketball program, presented by Carol Stokes. Jonathan Calman Forbes, First Division. Recipient of a Riverview Minor Basketball bursary of $200 to a graduate who has participated in the Riverview Minor Basketball program, presented by Carol Stokes. Krista Michelle Fournier, honors, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of a scholarship of $500 donated by the Immaculate Heart of Mary Parish to a student who plans to enter a career of service to others, presented by Reverend Dan Bowen. Lucas James Fowler, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Federation of New Brunswick Faculty Association Medal, awarded annually to the graduating student with high academic standing and recognition in recognition of a significant contribution to student government, presented by Douglas Prescott. Louise Nicole Frigo, honors. Recipient of the Town of Riverview Scholarship of $500 to a student who has contributed to the Town of Riverview and who intends to further her studies. Presented by Mayor Bruce Fitch. Aaron Frontaine, honors. French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Ann Connolly Girl Guide Scholarship of $100 to a deserving Girl Guide graduate. Presented by Ann Connolly. And the recipient of the $100 West Riverview Elementary School Constance Keith Memorial Scholarship to a student planning a teaching career, presented by Ward White. Shannon Lynn Furlong. Ashley Dawn Marie Gallant, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Brown Cameron Law Award of $200 to the top law student in the graduating class, presented by Norma Osler. Recipient of the Judge W.W. Wells Scholarship of $400, awarded to a graduate intending to go into career law, presented by Heather Jones. And recipient of the Moncton Lions Club Scholarship of $1,500 to a student of good academic standing who will be attending university, presented by Bill Cosman. Robert Gregory Gallant, honors. French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of a scholarship of $100 to a deserving student, presented by Vincent Sunderland.
Amy Elizabeth Galley, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Kevin C. McDonald Bursary of $200 donated by Kevin's family to a deserving graduate, presented by Robert McDonald. Ryan Stewart Gurnham, Jennifer Lynn Godet, First Division, French Immersion Certificate. Amber Alice Geddes, First Division, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Mildred Bennett Chapter IODE Bursary of $250 to a deserving graduate, presented by Lori Brown. Tina Lynn Gelderd, Academic Excellence, recipient of the Riverview Linus Prize of $500 to a deserving graduate who is going on to post-secondary studies, presented by Colleen Steves Sutherland. Amanda Lynn Gilbert. Andrew Gildart, in absentia. Christopher Lee Gilroy, First Division. Tommy James Graham, French Immersion Certificate. Alistair Ian Grant, Academic Excellence, recipient of the Riverview High School Staff Award of $300 awarded to the leader of the graduating class, presented by Doug Prescott. Recipient of the 1999 graduating class bursary of $250 to a deserving student, presented by James Sunderland. Andrew David Gray, First Division. Ashley Lynn Greenslade, Honors French Immersion Certificate. Stephen Raymond Griffin, in absentia. Matthew Thomas Gunn, French Immersion Certificate. Craig Anthony Geisbers. Aaron Jean Hamilton, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of a Claude D. Taylor Home and School Association bursary of $250 to a student who attended Claude D. Taylor School, presented by Elsie Olson. Recipient of the Marion E. Monroe Memorial Scholarship of $400 awarded to a graduate going into speech pathology, presented by Mary Delahunt. Recipient of the 2000 Student Government Executive Bursary of $250 to a student involved with student government-related activities, presented by Greg Longafee. Ricky Harrison, First Division. Recipient of a Gunningsville Home and School Association bursary of $150 to a student who attended Gunningsville School, presented by Heather Fougier. Ryan Hawks. Pamela Jane Hebert, French Immersion Certificate. Trevor George Helperd. Christina Ann Hendricks, Academic Excellence, recipient of a Riverview Minor Baseball bursary of $250 to a graduate who has participated in the Riverview Minor Baseball program, presented by Ed Lowry. Carolyn Henry, First Division, French Immersion Certificate. James Kenneth Bryce Holden. J. Logan Hollis, First Division. Keely Marie Hollis, Honors, French Immersion Certificate. Eric Ralph Hopper. Sharon Dawn Howard, Honors. Timothy Noah Huntley. Jeff Allen Hochster.
Gregory Stephen Inglis. French Immersion Certificate. Carolina Inzunza. Crystal Joy Isherwood, recipient of a Morning Glory Florals bursary of $100 donated to a deserving co-op education student, presented by Kelly Phillips. Kara Jardine. Travis Paul Janer, Honors, recipient of a Frank L. Bowser Home and School Association bursary of $200 to a student who attended Frank L. Bowser School, presented by Janet Durling. Michelle Catherine Johnson, First Division. Emily Allen Jones. Lawrence Edgar Jordan, Academic Excellence, Recipient of the Fidelity Chapter Order of the Eastern Star Award of $200 to a student who displays qualities of citizenship, presented by Mary Marshall. And recipient of a Riverview High School Band Bursary of $100, presented by Leanne Delaney. Philip Edward Jordry, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Paul A. LeBlanc Memorial Bursary of $250 to a graduate who has been active in varsity soccer and who is going on to university, presented by Rod LeBlanc. And recipient of the Steve Irving Memorial Bursary of $1,000 donated by the Moncton Football Association, presented by Joe Irving. Hartley Kang. Garrett Ian Keddy, French Immersion Certificate. Cheryl Lynn Kelly, First Division. Christopher George Kelly, Academic Excellence, recipient of a Riverview High School Drama Club Bursary of $100 to a graduate who made a contribution to drama, presented by Ruth Arsenault. Edward John Kelly. Lindsay Ann King, Honors, French Immersion Certificate. Benjamin Lamke, in abstention. Mark Pierre Landry. Melanie Landry. Veronique Lavoie, Honors, French Immersion Certificate. Aaron Bartholomew LeBlanc, First Division. Jeffrey Michael LeBlanc. Mark LeBlanc, French Immersion Certificate. Daniel Joseph Legier. Brian Thomas Lewis, recipient of a Riverview High School Royals Hockey Scholarship of $250 to a member of the Royals hockey team, presented by Jack Ailes. Jared Kendall Lewis, French Immersion Certificate.
Thank you. Good luck.
Megan Lewis, recipient of the Riverview Lions Award of $100 and a plaque to graduate with exceptional needs, presented by Colleen Steve Sunderland. Michael Lewis. Natasha Lewis. Gerard Christian Lloyd.
Janine Marie Loomis, Honors, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Riverview Arts Council Scholarship of $150 to a student furthering their studies in the arts, presented by Rob Glennon. Recipient of the bursary donated by Angela Vautour, Member of Parliament for Beausejour-Petite-Kodiak. $100 is awarded to a graduate who lives in the riding and going on to post-secondary education, presented by David Burrell. Katie Lorette. Brett James Lutz. Matthew Joseph George Lutzak. Alexander Donald Francis McAdam, 1st Division. James L. McCollum. Candace Carol McDonald, Academic Excellence, recipient of a Riverview High School Home and School bursary of $100 to a graduate who has participated in school and community activities, presented by Judy Cormier. Donald Gordon Stewart McGregor, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of a Riverview High School Home and School bursary of $100 to a graduate who has participated in school and community activities, presented by Judy Cormier. Scott McGregor, Honors. Bradley McGinnis, 1st Division. Matthew Alexander McLean, 1st Division, French Immersion Certificate. Sean Donald McLennan, Academic Excellence. Lisa Marie McLeod, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the West Riverview Elementary Home and School Association bursary of $150 to a student who attended West Riverview Elementary School, presented by Lorna Steves, and also the recipient of the Stella Steves Memorial Bursary of $300 to a deserving West Riverview student, presented by Ward White. Matthew David McLeod, Academic Excellence, recipient of the Domac Building Supplies bursary of $200 to a student of good academic standing who was involved in school activities, presented by Ann Siemens. Melanie Dawn McPhee, recipient of the Victory Life Center's Church of Riverview bursary of $250 to a deserving graduate, presented by Lori Brown. Eliza Ann McWilliams. Brian Andrew Maltby, recipient of a Riverview Lions Club Award of $500 to a deserving student, presented by Joe Rouet. Kyla Lee Martell, Honors, French Immersion Certificate.
Thank you very much.
Ryan Greg McAllister, 1st Division. Malcolm McAvoy, Honors. Kelly McCarthy. Mark James McCausland, Honors. Recipient of the Kevin C. McDonald Award of $200 to a graduate who has participated in Riverview Minor Hockey, presented by Louis Dallaire. Natalie Lynn McCurdy, French Immersion Certificate. Nicholas McFadden. Melissa Sue McGraw, Honors. Susan Mary McLeod. Sean Edgar McMaster. Judith Louise McNichol. Colleen Mary McQuaid, 1st Division.
William Tyler McQuarrie, 1st Division. Andrea Lynn McWilliam, 1st Division. Amanda Linda Marr. Kathleen Ann Marr, 1st Division. Tyler James Melling, 1st Division, recipient of the unique class bursary of $150 to a graduate going into visual arts, presented by Laura Lamy. Melissa Catherine Mellish, 1st Division. Heather Diane Methvin, honors, recipient of the Marjorie O'Brien bursary of $500 awarded by Public Service Employees Credit Union, presented by Ken Carroll. Elissa April Milburn.
Yeah!
Erin Elizabeth Rose Miller, honors. Angela Christie Mitten, honors, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Sir Charles G.D. Roberts IODE Chapter bursary of $200 to a graduate going to community college, presented by Judy Rothwell.
It's Angela, the next girl.
Kimberly Ann Mitten, recipient of the Coverdale Women's Institute prize of $200 to a deserving student, presented by Berthenia Morris. Katie Elizabeth Mose, 1st Division. Jason Henry Montefrisco. Craig Thomas Morrison, 1st Division. Michael James Morrison, academic excellence, recipient of the 1999 graduating class bursary of $250 to a deserving student, presented by Jane Sunderland. Ian Morton, 1st Division. Stephanie Muir, 1st Division, French Immersion Certificate. Joshua Robert Muse, honors, recipient of a bursary of $350 from Riverview's first graduating class of 1965 to a student who has contributed to the happiness of others, presented by David Burrell. Nathan Dale Muse, honors, Recipient of the Pythian Sisters Sacrament Temple number 35 award of $150 to a graduate who contributed greatly to school life, presented by Norma Calhoun. And also recipient of the West Riverview Elementary Home and School Association bursary of $150 to a student who attended West Riverview Elementary School, presented by Lorna Steves. Andrew Robert Mullen in absentia. Sarah Elizabeth Murray. Honors, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of a Riverview Arts Council scholarship of $150 to a student furthering their studies in the arts, presented by Rob Glennon. Jennifer Mary Niles, honors. Natalie Delia Niles, honors. Lana Noble, First Division. Manette Elise Noble. John Russell Noy, honors, recipient of the Armco Atlantic Limited bursary of $500 to a deserving graduate, presented by Aubrey Morrell. Marnie Ann Oakway, honors, recipient of a scholarship of $100 to a deserving graduate, presented by Vincent Sunderland. Shannon A. O'Connor, First Division. Kathleen Elizabeth Oleksiak, honors.
Derek William O'Rourke. Emily Gloria Marie Osler, honors, recipient of the Pearl Rebecca Lodge number 9 bursary of $300 to a deserving graduate, presented by Anna Cosman. Benjamin Harold Page, academic excellence. Christopher Earl Paul, First Division, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Riverview Minor Baseball bursary of $250 to a graduate who has participated in the Riverview Minor Baseball program, presented by Ed Lowry. Christopher Michael Palmer, honors. Sarah Lynn Parker, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Lower Coverdale Home and School Association Scholarship of $250 in memory of Mr. Ray Mabey, presented by Christine Steves. Also the recipient of the Unicorn Children's Care Center Scholarship of $200 awarded to a graduate going to early childhood education, presented by Hannah Love. Stephanie Dawn Parker, academic excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of the Riverview Ministerial Association bursary of $400 to a deserving member of a graduating class, presented by Pastor Blair Holden. Recipient of the Rebecca J. Smith Memorial bursary of $100 donated by Camp Wildwood, presented by Carol Northrop Davis. Heidi Ann Pauley, recipient of a Morning Glory Florals bursary of $100 donated to a deserving co-op ed student, presented by Carrie Phillips. Jeremy Samuel Peck, Andrew Michael Perry, 1st Division, recipient of the St. John the Baptist Anglican Church Women's Scholarship of $200, presented by Marge Hansen. Stephen Robert Pickerel, honors, recipient of the Riverview MLA Pat Crosman Bursey of $100, presented by Pat Crosman. Amanda Grace Plant, 1st Division. Michael Trevor Plant. Luke Poirier, honors, French immersion certificate. Shannon Jamie Rose Potter, honors, recipient of the Crandall Studio Award of $250 to a deserving graduate, presented by Lori Brown. Patrick Gordon Power, 1st Division, French immersion certificate. Stephen George Powers, honors, recipient of a $250 scholarship donated by the Ladies Society, Immaculate Heart of Mary Parish, presented by Christine Harper. Philippe Maxim David Rabin, academic excellence, recipient of the Burke's Medal for Leadership in Student Affairs throughout high school, presented by Doug Prescott. Sarah Hannon Rathburn. Travis Rayworth. Daniel Maxwell Rinsler, honors. Tanya Joyce Ritchie, honors, French immersion certificate. Brenda Robinson, 1st Division. Sean Patrick Rocca. Judith Ann Rogers, 1st Division, French immersion certificate. Melissa Joanne Rogers, 1st Division, French immersion certificate. Jonathan Kent Sanford, recipient of the Riverview High School Royals Hockey Scholarship of $250 to a member of the Royals hockey team, presented by Jack Gales. Nora Shannon, French immersion certificate. Lori Lynn Scott, recipient of the Laura Davis Memorial Scholarship of $200 to a deserving graduate going on to further her education, presented by Ron Davis.
Jennifer Lynn Scully, French immersion certificate. Mark Hubert Siemens. Ryan Secord. Bradley Joseph Nathan Selden, First Division. Jonathan H.D. Seelig. Matthew Paul Sherman, in absentia. Johnson Gary Sherrard. Jonathan James Sherrard, First Division. Catherine Lee Sherwood, in absentia. Jennifer Deborah Adrian Shorey. Colin Reginald Smith. Richard Smith, in absentia. Robert Edward Summers. Jennifer Lee Spearin, honors, recipient of a $500 bursary awarded to the QP Local 2162 Town of Riverview employees to a deserving graduate, presented by Rod Spearin. Patricia Lynette Spencer. Patrick Joseph Spinney, recipient of a Riverview High School Royals Hockey Scholarship of $250 to a member of the Royals hockey team, presented by Jack Ailes. Tracy Lee Springer. Anthony David Steves. Derek Steves. In abstention? Crystal Ray Stevenson, academic excellence. Recipient of the Moncton West and Riverview Rotary Club bursary of $1,000 to a student who has been involved in community affairs and school activities, presented by Brian Galley. And also recipient of the Sir Charles G.D. Roberts IODE chapter bursary of $300 to a graduate going on to university, presented by Judy Rothwell. Scott Bradley Stokes, honors.
Thank you. It's amazing.
Peter John Strayhorn.
ROTP awards.
An omission, Scott Bradley Stokes also has an ROTP award that was not left off the program. Patrick Sullivan. Julie Margaret Symes, First Division. Jason Terrace, honors. Matthew Timothy Thomas, honors. Christopher Gregory Thompson. Heidi Laura Tingley. Shane Christopher Tingley.
Go Tiger!
Tracy, First Division. Matthew Arnold Trail, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate. Recipient of the Moncton Times Transcript Scholarship of $250 to a newspaper carrier who is graduating. Presented by Dave Burrell. Nisha D. Trenum, First Division. Connor Donald Tripp. Christopher Grant Tubb, Academic Excellence, French Immersion Certificate, recipient of a Claude D. Taylor Home and School Association bursary of $250 to a student who is attending Claude D. Taylor School, presented by Elsie Olson, and recipient of the Ross Sobey Memorial Scholarship of $500 awarded by Moncton Mets, presented by David Burrell. Amy Elizabeth Underhill, honors. Recipient of the Riverview Volunteer Firefighters bursary of $250 to a graduate going on to a post-secondary institution, presented by Colin McKay. Also recipient of a $100 bursary to a deserving graduate, presented by Vincent Sunderland. Also the recipient of the Irving Oil Ladies Basketball Classic bursary of $500, presented by Brian Frontaine. Christy Dawn Walker, French Immersion Certificate. Darcy Wallace, honors. Heather Cynthia Ward, First Division. Chantel Lynn Wareham, First Division. Toshiko Faith Watanabe, First Division. Recipient of the Laura James Memorial Bursary of $125 to a deserving graduate, presented by Bob Stultz. Jeffrey West, honors. Recipient of a Moncton Times Transcript Scholarship of $250 to a newspaper carrier who is graduating, presented by David Burrell. Daniel Jonathan White, First Division. Recipient of a $100 bursary to a deserving graduate, presented by Vince Sunderland. Lindsay Jerica Wilson, honors. Ryan Wilson. Shelley Ann Wilson, First Division. Terry Wolstenholme. Alexander Bruce Wood, Academic Excellence. Recipient of the Daigle Surveys Limited Bursary of $200 awarded to a student who is entering civil technology or surveying engineering. Presented by Dave Burrell. Carly Dawn Wood, First Division. Dina Lynn Catherine Wood, honors, French Immersion Certificate. Shane Sterling Woods. Kelly Ann Woodworth, First Division in absentia. Ned Wright. Rochelle Wright. Lori Zwicker, honors, French Immersion Certificate.
special awards that we would like to present this evening. First, the Federation of New Brunswick Faculty Association Achievement Medal. Certify that the Board of Directors, the Federation of New Brunswick Faculty Associations, which comprises the faculty associations representing the university teachers, researchers, and librarians who work in New Brunswick universities, have approved the awarding of the Federation of New Brunswick Faculty Association's Achievement Medal for the 1999-2000 academic year to Lucas Fowler. Special award noted in your program, the Burks Medal for Leadership in Student Affairs, won by Philip Raven.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Nickerson, and Mr. Burrow for your assistance this evening. I will now call the names of those grads that have maintained 85% or better average over their 2 years in high school. I would ask that as I call the name of each student that they come to the platform and form 2 lines. On the platform, they will receive a very special Academic Excellence Award Certificate recognizing the new millennium. Very pleased to have those presented this evening by Vice Principals, Mrs. Matthews, Mr. Forsythe, and Mr. Sunderland. These names are in alphabetical order and do not signify whether they have the highest average by that record. Luke Amos Binks, Lindsay Bannister, Candace Beers, Lynn Betts, Jennifer Carey, Aaron Clark, Jason Cornell, Katie Whitehead Cushing, Morgan Ellsworth, Angela Feltmate, Catherine Fitch, Lucas Fowler, Ashley Gallant, Amy Galley, Tina Gildart, Alistair Grant, Aaron Hamilton, Christina Hendricks, Lawrence Jordan, Philip Jodry, Christopher Kelly, Candace McDonald, Donnie McGregor, Sean McClellan, Lisa McLeod, Matthew McLeod, Michael Morrison, Benjamin Page, Stephanie Parker, Philippe Raven, Crystal Stevenson, Matthew Trail, Christopher Chubb, Alexander Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, our Academic Excellence Award winners. Congratulate everybody. Congratulations. It's significant to everybody. Okay, you make it prom. Congratulations. You could have gone there. Doctor, feel good. I know. Thank you, Mrs. Matthews, Mr. Forsythe, and Mr. Sunderland. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my pleasure to present to you the 2000 graduation class of Riverview High School. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you, Mom!
A few interesting facts this evening. You may have taken some notes as we were going through the program. We have 286 graduates. We have 64 graduates who are first division, 142 who have reached honors, 34 who have reached academic excellence certificates. 49% of our graduates have had honors or higher, 25% in the first division. University entrance scholarships total $130,000. Other awards total $53,500. Local awards $30,600 for a grand total of $214,100. This year's grad class secured a total of 54 entrance scholarships, the most awards RHS has ever received. So congratulations, graduates. I'd like to thank Mr. Burrow for the work. That's all of his figuring in terms of the totals and the scholarships, and we certainly appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Burrow. Thank you, graduates, and thank you, Mr. Burrow. A few words to the graduates before we close this evening, and because of the length of the program and the heat, there will be very few. I want to thank all the graduates for the cooperation that we have received from them this year as a senior class, and certainly for their energy and enthusiasm that you have brought to Riverview High School each day, for your involvement in school life, and for making Riverview High School a great school. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. I want to first thank my teaching colleagues and enthusiastic, dedicated staff who work diligently in their academic endeavors and still find time to coach, supervise, and coordinate student activities, all beyond, of course, your teaching duties. Because of these individuals, you have enjoyed numerous interesting and challenging classrooms and a wide variety of co- and extracurricular activities. I believe the efforts of our staff is evidenced by the smiling faces behind me this evening and by the number of awards that this senior class has obtained for the school year 99-2000. To our school secretaries, support staff, and custodians, thank you for daily providing excellent service to staff, students, parents, and guardians. This has allowed our school to operate efficiently and effectively. On behalf of the graduates, all students, and their parents and guardians, a special thank you to all teaching colleagues and to all support staff. I'd like to thank Mrs. Heather Jones, Director of Education for District 2, as well as our two school supervisors, Mr. Don Masro and Mr. Ken Frost, for their support throughout the past school year. We certainly appreciate all of your efforts on behalf of staff and students. I would also like to recognize the efforts of our School Parent Advisory Committee and the Home and School Association, two groups of parents and guardians who labor on behalf of all students and their parents and guardians to assist the school in fulfilling its mission. The following groups are individuals to serve recognition because of significant contribution to Riverview High School. To Ivan and Vivian Hicks, 11 consecutive years in terms of doing the Super Fiddle Show and providing funds to the Safe Grad activity. To the town of Riverview for their excellent reciprocal agreement. To the Kodiak RCMP and specifically Mark Gallagher, our Community Police Liaison Officer. To the business community of Riverview. To the High School Basketball Booster Club, to the Kinsmen, the members who have helped with Safe Grad, to the Lions who have worked hard on behalf of Safe Grad, to the media, Times Transcript, County Chronicle, CKCW, CFQM, and CBC for their support and their coverage of school activities, to all the prize donors, and we have 104 here this evening that have joined with us to recognize the successes of our graduates, and we appreciate every one of them. To the Year 11 parents and guardians for their effort to read the reception tonight. I know that you will enjoy a wonderful time downstairs, and we certainly appreciate their efforts and the staff that have supported those efforts. To you, the parents and the guardians, thank you for attending this evening. Thank you for your continued support of Riverview High School and the programs, and certainly last but not least, a special thanks to my family for allowing me the time that I need to be away to do the job that I believe needs to be done. Thank you very much. A reminder, please, that we would ask you to join us in the lower arena for reception afterwards. In a moment, I will ask the audience and the graduates to rise for the singing of God Save the Queen, played by Miss Erin Hamilton, a member of our senior class. The audience is requested to be seated while the grads perform our school song. It is on the back of your graduation ticket. Please feel free to join us. Please remain seated for the marching out of the graduates in order to allow them time to go to the lower arena. Please allow the dignitaries in the front row to leave first before the audience does. Thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate your presence. We trust that you have enjoyed this evening. Have a wonderful summer. Mrs. Delaney, school band, graduates, if you would please rise. Audience, God Save the Queen. this evening, introducing Lori, Scott, and Mackenzie. Jason, Kyle, Daryl, Allen. Luke, Justin, Amos, Binks. Kate Andrews. Christopher Bailey. Kevin Bailey. Jennifer L. Bartlett. Jordan Wheaton Bateman.
What?
Rebecca Cheryl Beersworth.
Well, I can if you want. You want them? Try. I don't know how good I can get them.
Jeremy Joseph Bullion.
What number
Candace
is that?
Amber Pierce.
They're all after.
Lynn Marie Betts. Ryan Bienvenu. Selena Black. Beth Boyd. Mark Bourbonnais. Melissa Marie Bourbonnais. Tanya Brown. Angela Elizabeth Budd. Bobby Joe Burbine. Phil Burgess. Adam Jordan William Burke.
Changed a lot. Don't look like he likes this either.
Charles William Burrow. Chris David King. Joseph Gregory Kearns. Mitchell Cameron.
Usually looks old, eh?
Jennifer Lynn Carey. Amanda Joan Carr. Robin Steele Carruthers. Isaac David Carter.
I don't think Isaac likes that
Lynn
either.
Carter. Excuse me, Krista Carter. Jennifer Lee Chapel. Erin Elizabeth Clark. Brock Barrett. Jennifer Clark. Jeff Cormier. Kristen Jennifer Cormier. Jason Scott Cornell.
I don't know what I got there. I can't see it. Huh? I got the big down here.
Peter Crandall.
24, there must be lots there.
Juanita Wynn Collins.
Step out in the light more at the front.
Andrew Alexander Curry. Katie Whitehead Cushing. Cindy Louise Perez Daly. Christy Lynn Dallaire. Michael J. P. Davidson. Trevor Harold Dodd. Timothy John DeGrace. Katrina Francis Denny. Aaron Anthony Dennis. Jennifer Diane DeWolf. Kurt Timothy Dexter. Barney DeLay. Kristen Aaron Donovan. Sherman Patrick Dorsey. Jordan Paul Lucas. Michael Dunfield. Sylvia Catherine Duran. Emily Catherine Derwin. Morgan Ellsworth. Elizabeth Jean Barr Faulkner. Angela Jean Feltman. Jillian Lee Ferguson. Catherine Marie Fitch. Krista Ann Fitzpatrick. Jessica Ann Forbes. Jonathan Calvin Forbes. Krista Michelle Fournier. Lucas James Fowler. Louise Nicole Frigo. Aaron Florentine. Shannon Lynn Furlong. Robert Gregory Gallant. Amy Elizabeth Galley. Jennifer Lynn Gadet. Amber Alice Geddes. Andrew Dewey Gilder. Tommy James Graham. Alistair Ian Grant. Andrew David Gray. Ashley Lynn Greenslade. Matthew Thomas Gunn. Aaron Jean Hamilton. Ricky Harrison. George Helper. Christina Ann Hendricks. Carolyn Henry. Eric Ralph Hopper. Gregory Stephen English. Jones. Lawrence Edgar Jordan. Philip Edward Dowry. Cheryl Lynn Kelly. Christopher George Kelly. Lindsay Ann King. Melanie Landry. Veronica Lavoie.
Where's Mark? Where's Mark?
Mark Lalonde.
Oh, Mark.
Ryan Thomas Lewis.
Taking the shortcut.
Jared Kendall Lewis.
Jared. There's Jared.
Natasha Lewis.
He's lost too.
Janine Marie Loomis.
Mark's picking them all up.
Katie Lorette. Brett James Lewis. Matthew Joseph George Lusack. Donald Gordon Stewart McGregor.
Ronnie looks different.
Scott McGregor. Matthew Alexander McLean. Sean Donald McLennan. Matthew David McLeod.
Boys, you don't like someone guys going in there. I don't think there'd be nobody here.
Eliza Ann McWilliams.
Feels like
Ryan Andrew Mulkey. Kyla Lee Martell.
I can't get close.
Ryan Greg McAllister. Malcolm McAvoy.
Probably see him better go here.
Mark James McCausland. Natalie Lynn McCurdy.
You gotta make up the money for it.
Melissa Sue McGraw. Colleen Mary McQuaid. William Tyler McGurry.
Mike sees how many there. He won't see it.
Amanda Linda Mahar. I'll excuse myself, that I should have said Murr. Kathleen Ann Murr. Melissa Catherine Mellish. Heather Diane Methven. Erin Elizabeth Rose Miller. Angela Christy Mitten. Kimberly Ann Mitten. Katie Elizabeth Mose. Craig Thomas Morrison. Michael James Morrison. Ian Morton. Stephanie Muir. Joshua Robert Muse. Nathan Dale Muse.
No problem. What's the next one we're looking for?
Sarah Elizabeth Murray.
pretty.
Jennifer Mary Dowles. Natalie Delia Dowles.
I wasn't ready.
Lana Noble.
Gosh, I wasn't expecting it.
John Russell Noy. Derek William O'Rourke.
Derek.
Marty Ann Oakley. Emily Gloria Marie Osler. Christopher Earl Paul. Heidi Ann Pauley.
Right now?
Jeremy Samuel Peck. Andrew Michael Perry. Stephen Robert Pegro. Amanda Grace Plant. Luke Poirier. Shannon Shamee Rose Potter. Patrick Gordon Howard. Stephen George Powers.
He's on the short guy.
Philippe Maxim David Reagan. Neil Maxwell Brinsler. Tanya Joyce Ritchie. Brenda Robinson. Judith Ann Rogers. Melissa Joanne Rogers. Jonathan Kent Sanford. Nora, she'd like
Get your power? I knocked it in over there,
Bradley
didn't you?
Joseph Nathan Seldon.
Oh,
Johnson Gary Sherrard.
it's getting warm in here. Oh,
Jonathan James Sherrard. Jennifer Deborah Shorey. Jennifer Lee Spirian. Patricia Lynette Spencer. Patrick Joseph Spinney. Tracy Lee Springer. Anthony Tony David Steves. Crystal Ray Stevenson. Scott Bradley Stokes. Patrick Sullivan. Peter John Strayhorn. Julie Margaret Symes. Jason Harris. Matthew Timothy Thomas. Christopher Thompson. Heidi Laura Tingley. Shane Christopher Tingley. Amy Leanne Tracy. Matthew Arnold Trail. Nisha D. Trenham. Shelley Ann Wilson. Carrie Wolstenholm. Alexander Bruce Wood. Carly Dawn Wood. Dina Lynn Catherine Wood. Shane Sterling Woods. Ned Wright. Rochelle Heather Wright. And ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, this year on our grad list, Lori Swicker. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the graduates to their senior prom for the school year 99-2000.
This is going too. D, E, F. All right, here you can have one. I'm sorry. Here you go.